Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maudie, and today we're going to be cooking country fried steak or cube steak. And I'm going to probably be laughing a lot because my son-in-law's here with me. I'm trying to teach him how to cook this, and he's laughing. It's going to make me laugh. But maybe you guys can learn something from me anyway. And also, then if you don't catch it all, you'll be able to watch this video and you'll be able to replay it and learn how to cook it. So, I haven't cooked this in a really long time, but this is something that I used to cook quite a bit. I've already got some French style green beans cooking, and they're gonna cook down and they'll be delicious. All I do with those is just add this, let me find it, this Lowry seasoned salt into the green beans. So good. And if you see all this stuff over here, I did not bake this. My daughter, who has a cottage bakery, this is an order that she baked, and this stuff is cooling, so that's why the kitchen is a mess. Because, surprise for y'all, I actually got my hutch cleaned off, and I will show you that at the end of this video. So let's get into this. I'm going to just start by, I have two ways I do it. You can either put it on a paper plate, or a plate, it doesn't have to be paper, or like even a pan with a lip on it. Or you can use a bag. So tonight, because I don't want a lot of mess, I'm just going to use a Ziploc, gallon-size Ziploc. And I am going to take, you can use all-purpose flour or self-rising. I'm going to use self-rising because that's what I have more of tonight. And I'm going to probably, for the amount of steaks I'm doing, I'm going to put 3 of these scoops in. And 3 of these scoops are 3/4 of a cup, which that doesn't really matter. I wouldn't even worry about that. Let me see here. I'm going to season the flour and season the meat. So I've got my flour here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm measuring with my heart, not with nothing else. I'm just sprinkling a good bit of salt in there. I'm going to put a good bit of pepper. And onion powder. I'm going to have to probably open this the other way, so I'll have to kind of be careful because I don't want too much. That's good. I'm putting minced onions. I guess you could put fresh onions in here. Oh shoot, yikes. But I'm not. I think my mother actually used to add fresh onions. I really like onions, and it makes it good and crispy. If you don't like onions, just omit that. You do not have to put those in there. And I'm going to put garlic powder, just not that much. And so I'm going to mix it up really good. And I don't want to get stuff on her cakes. So I hope you guys can see, and I'm going to cut these lights off because I forgot. Someone had complained about those lights that they flicker, and I don't want to bother anyone. So I'm going to try to just, we have all these egg cartons over here too for our chickens. Oh no, I'm making a mess. I actually need that. Okay, so I don't want anything near the skillet when I turn this on. I'm going to go ahead and put vegetable oil in the bottom, and go ahead and probably just go ahead and pour all that in there. And the trick to these, what I found is to not flip them too much. So I'm going to go ahead and be heating my oil, and at first I'm going to kind of turn it on low. And there's several ways you can do this. Sorry y'all, I wasn't prepared. I just decided to do this video last minute because this is something that I actually wanted to film myself making. And so here we are, so you get real life. I always keep my pie pan when I have a pie. And So I'm just going to use that. So I've got my mixture right here. And if this was in a plate, I would just put it in a plate. I would flip it, but I'm not. My mother would always take a fork, and she would always like poke the meat because she said that helped it to cook. So I do the same, but I'll probably do that more so once I get it in the skillet. But I'm going to go ahead and my hands are clean, by the way, but I'm going to go ahead and just cover it. I do not dip this in egg. A lot of people dip theirs in egg, and I don't do all that. For one, I just don't have the energy mentally to do that. So, I'm probably going to salt it and pepper it. So, something else that I'm going to do, you know, I said that I would season the meat. I would season the powder, the actual mixture, but I'm also going to season the meat once it goes in the skillet. Oh. Let's see here. So just batter it up. And now I'm just waiting for this to, I've got it on low right now because this does pop. It pops a good bit when you start cooking it. So I'm going to turn it up some. If you have a higher edge skillet, that's also really helpful. Man, I am making a mess tonight. And I know that some people don't use vegetable oil. I'm assuming you could use something else if you wanted to, a different kind of fat. I don't know what it would taste like with olive oil or something. I'm not sure how that would taste, but you know, if you decide to use it, if you decide to do it and use a different type of oil, just let me know in the comments. Even if you have to come back to this video, just let me know how that turned out. I don't actually care for olive oil. I prefer avocado oil because I don't like the taste of olive oil like at all. It is not my thing. So, anyway, let's see how this goes. All right, it's starting to get warm. So I've got that one whole thing plated up, and I have a trash bag down there if you're wondering what I'm doing, because she was using that when she was cooking. And it's starting to sizzle, so it's getting ready. We didn't know how much of this to buy today, so we just bought a good bit. And I got to Walmart and I got to the checkout and I didn't have my cards because my daughter had used, my other daughter, I'd sent her to town yesterday and she had used my card, and I said, oh, I don't need it since I'm not going anywhere. I'm not even worried about getting it back right now. And I get up there to the checkout, and I get all these clothes, all this food, and then I'm like, oh, wow, I don't have my card. Thank goodness for Walmart Pay, because I was able to actually access my card on the Walmart Pay. I was glad, because we'd already had a mess trying to just get checked out because of the clothes that were on clearance, not wanting to scan right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and you can see I'm putting this in here. And it's probably not, there's some, like if you see it start sizzling, and I can actually hear it. So like, I'm still going to wait another second before I put any more in there. This is what's typical. I usually end up putting one in and I have to wait before I put the others in. Now that it's in, I'm going to poke a few holes in it. And I will put minced onion and this pepper on the top of it once I get the rest of them in there. Alright, so it's starting to sizzle. So I feel like I'm good to, yeah. I'm pretty good to, I'm not going to turn it up much higher because I don't want it to like explode. But we're just going to wait just a second. Let's see. My green beans are coming along nicely, and I had all intentions of making homemade mashed potatoes. It's not happening tonight, so, and it's already 7:03. We've had a pretty busy evening. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and lay these in here. Actually, probably, to be quite honest with you, I probably put a little bit too much oil in here. I don't like them to sit in the oil, but they're still going to be good. I'm going to just try to scoop some of this out. And this is messy, and it's going to be messy. So, like, you're not going to not make a mess with this. If you don't like making a mess, this probably is not the meal for you to cook. Like, this is probably not the meal. I think I'm going to try to get some of that out because I do not want there to be like, I don't want this stuff sitting in grease. I'm trying to decide the best way to do that. So I'm just going to take a measuring spoon, and this looks crazy, but I'm just wanting to get some of it out, and I'm taking out tablespoons at a time, so that's good. And I can always pour it back in there if I need to. I guess this is what happens when you cook with the heart. You don't really measure too much. Of course, if you have to do this, be very careful so you don't get burned. I'm fixing to actually turn this down because I'm not trying to get burned. Okay. I think that's good for right now. I'm going to set that over there in case we need it. Alright, so when you cook this, what I always used to do, and this was a mistake I always made, I would cook this and I would just be flipping it constantly flipping it. And my cousin, she was like, that is not how to do it. But that's how my mom did it. And so that's how I did it. But my cousin's like, you do not do that. She's like, you leave it on about 5 to 7 minutes per side, and then you flip it. So right now I'm at 7:05, just so. So it's about 7:10. I'm going to check it, and I'll probably give it a flip. And hopefully it'll be ready to flip. And then we don't want this to be like gummy and hard where we can't eat it. We need it to be good and tender. I'm going to pair the mashed potatoes and these French style green beans, and then I bought some country gravy, and I'm gonna cook that too. Just mix that up, and that's what we'll have. And we'll have a good meal. But you can see that it's definitely starting to cook, and if you see it bubbling up like this, you can like gently just press it down. So the inside of that meat is cooking. And that's where, like my mom said, poking holes in it makes a difference. And even if you just poke one set through the middle of it. Just, of course, be careful because this is hot oil. A couple more minutes and I'm going to flip it. And then I'm going to let you guys see me cook the next batch, which will probably be, it'll be crispier, because I don't have as much grease in here. And this grease, this oil is going to cook down some as well. And by the end of the time I'm cooking this, it'll be thick, and it's not good then, of course. But it'll serve the purpose to get this food cooked. You see it. When there are green beans look good. If you've never tried green beans with this seasoned salt, it is so good. Like, it gives them a whole new flavor. So good. So we're just going to kind of, probably about 3 more minutes, I'm going to flip this over. Because realistically, this will have sat here about 7 minutes on this side. And I feel like it'll be good to flip at that time. If you guys cook this, if you have any other suggestions, leave it in the comments. I call this, I guess, country fried steak, but it's definitely not country fried steak. What I would think of like at Cracker Barrel, where it's got this thick crust on it. which that would be really good, but I just really don't know how to do that. My mom could fry chicken and it would have a thick crust on it like KFC. And I don't know how she did it. I wish I would have learned, but I didn't. So, let's see. This one keeps kind of... when you do this, you can feel the bottom. Like, you can kind of feel if they're ready to flip. So like this one's already crisping up on the side. I don't know how much of that you can see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip this one. You see that? Nice and hot. Turn this down a little bit. There we go. So they are still pretty crispy. Especially the thicker ones, be sure to press those down, press the thicker ones down in the middle, because that's where you're going to run into the danger of them not cooking all the way. So I'm going to check these at about 7:15, 7:16, somewhere in there. And I'll be back with you and I'll show you guys what they look like. Once I get ready to put the second batch on, I'll come back and show you guys. So just hang on just a second. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this second batch in. And it's not as deep. The oil isn't. Obviously be extremely careful. So just go into top. And because I don't have my big skillet, I'm only able to cook about 4 at a time. I actually had to throw my big skillet away, unfortunately. I've used it for years, and it was just beyond fixable, really. Again, this is all optional. You do not have to put onions or extra salt and pepper on it if you don't want to. You don't have to put onions on it, period. I mean, technically, if you didn't want seasoning, you can just put flour and salt and pepper, or just flour and salt and do that. But the main thing is just watch your timer so you know when to flip. And these were the ones I just cooked. So some of those got a little burnt like. I don't know how well you can see that. The lighting in here is terrible, unfortunately. But they're turning out okay. So to make my gravy, I'm going to just show you real quick the pack. This is all I do. I do not like hand make gravy. I do for biscuits, but not for this. So I just picked up 2 packs of this Pioneer gravy. I'm going to make a pack, and that's that. We're going to mix it with our mashed potatoes. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Whew. That flour, salt, and pepper, and all that good stuff. Tastes great. So this is pretty much all that I can show you guys on how to cook this. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's all plated up. And if you have any questions, just put it in the comments below and I'll be glad to answer them. So I will be back in just a few with the ending of this video and a plate of all of our food. Okay, y'all, so here is the finished product. My gravy, mashed potatoes with gravy, and green beans. It's going to be delicious. And I want to show you guys my clean hutch. I got it cleaned and decorated for fall. Super cute. It made me feel pretty accomplished today. to get that done. Anyway, I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys, and I appreciate you watching my videos, and all my new subscribers, and everyone that shares my channel and my videos. I appreciate it. And if you know anyone else who would be interested in my content, please send them my way. My family greatly appreciates it. And anytime you like or comment, it helps us in the algorithm. So that's all I have for you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow.